Now, dreaming is absolutely central to human givens. It's something that for a long, long time has been on the fringes. You know, Freud wrote his great book about dreams, the meaning of dreams and so on. But he only got it half right, and the half wrong bit he got actually held psychotherapy back for 100 years, really, because he just didn't understand dreams. But people got caught up in his dream theories, they get caught up in Jungian theories and all sorts of other wacky theories. If you go on the internet, you'll see there's so many theories about dreams. But actually, if animals dream, and we dream, and we're animals, the theories about dreams must be able to account for why animals and humans dream. Quite clearly, it's not to do with Oedipal complexes. You can't imagine a cow which dreams as having Oedipal complexes. Ridiculous. So the reason for dreaming must be something to do with our biology. And I'm just going to talk about that for a moment or two, because you can't really understand, for example, why human beings get depressed unless you understand dreaming. Now, look, we have an autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system fires off emotions. It's an expectation circuit. The autonomic nervous system is fired off by instincts, which is what emotions are, effectively. So something happens to us, and we immediately have an expectation that something's going to be a consequence of that. That fires up the autonomic nervous system. But the autonomic nervous system is a complete circuit. It's fired up, but it also has to be, the action has to happen, because it's fired up so we take action. And that action results in the autonomic nervous system calming down and getting ready for the next expectation. Now, the interesting thing is that this has been shown to be the case with animals. For example, how many of you keep cats? Good half of you. I'm just going to tell you a little story, but don't be upset. But it's about an experiment done with animals. But the animals weren't harmed, with one exception, and they were lovingly looked after. But Michel Jouvet, this French scientist who did an enormous amount of pioneering work in studying sleep and dreams, he wanted to know why it was that when we go to sleep and we go into the REM state, which is the REM state is when we dream, well, and he was the one who recognized this must be connected to instincts and our programming of our instincts, we're paralyzed. I mean, some of you may not even know this piece of information, but we're actually paralyzed when we dream. And we dream for about a quarter of our sleep time. And our anti-gravity muscles don't work. And moreover, our thermostat, our body mechanism for maintaining steady heat, is switched off. So we get colder. In fact, you can't even get into the dream state if you're kept too hot at night. Which is why people in very hot countries in the hot seasons go manic. Because they can't, literally it's true, they can't dream. And it's dreaming that de-arouses the autonomic nervous system. So he wanted to know, well, what would happen if we ablated the 2 or 3 little neurons in the cat's brain that cause this paralysis? What would happen when they went into REM sleep at night? And what he found was the cats would get tired, go to sleep, as cats are wont to do quite a lot, and they'd be going into slow wave sleep, which is the recuperative side of sleep, which we do spend 3/4 of the night in, sleep time, and then they'd hit REM, and suddenly leap up and display instinctive behaviors, mating behaviors, hunting behaviors, fighting behaviors. They're asleep, but they're acting out these instincts. And then they go back into slow wave sleep and curl up, and all's well. And he did a variation of that, which really, really shows that dreaming, why we dream in metaphor, and also explains this process more clearly, because you can then start to see how it connects to us. He decided to put a cat who'd had this little operation done into a room and let a mouse into the room. Now, he'd carefully arranged it so there were lots of little holes all around so the mouse could escape. But of course, the moment the cat sees the mouse, its hunting instinct is fired off. The autonomic nervous system of the cat goes, "Ow!" and it chases after the mouse. But the mouse, I mean, if ever you try to catch a mouse, I mean, they don't half shift. And they jump and all sorts of things. And it disappears in the hole, and it's not silly. It's not going to come out with a cat there. And the cat sits totally focused. The autonomic nervous system, it makes him totally focus on where that he last saw the mouse. But eventually, the cat becomes tired, curls up, goes to sleep. It goes into slow wave sleep. And then it hits REM. And what does it do? It leaps up and pounces on a mouse. But it's not a mouse, there's nothing there. It's a metaphor for a mouse in its imagination. And it plays with it, catches it, and it pretends to eat it, and then it curls up and goes to sleep again. But all the time it was asleep, but it goes back into slow wave sleep. It was in REM sleep when it was catching the mouse. It was completing the pattern metaphorically by catching an imaginary thing or mouse. We don't know, we can't ask it. But some people think they can talk to cats. But we've never managed it yet. But that's the closest we can get. We can see it completing the autonomic nervous system and calming down after metaphorically catching something. So this is what we do in dreams.